Hey everyone, it's Patty from PS Paper Crafts, and this week I'm featuring the Merry Christmas to All bundle. It has a great stamp set with all these sentiments that you can really use on their own, or pair them with other stamp sets and make different cards. And it comes with, you can bundle it with these thinlits, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and then some labels that you can fit some of these words in. So that the actual sentiments, if you look at them, they're a little bit bigger than they look like on the case. So you'll see holidays. It's much bigger. So anyway, I'm going to make this card today. I absolutely love this sentiment. May the beauty of the season fill your heart with joy. And you can use that for an inside or an outside sentiment. So we're going to be making this card today. Here's a card I had on my blog yesterday with the Merry Christmas stamp, and then this is Dashing Deer. So you can take a look at that, and I use that sentiment on the inside of this card, and today we're going to use it on the outside. So let's get started. This pretty simple card. I'm using Designer Series paper, and I have it spread out for you. Let me just pull it up here so you can see it. It is called Under the Mistletoe. And this is from the annual catalog, not the holiday catalog. So you get two of each. So it's each side. It's really pretty. I love this and this one. So I just thought I would show this to you so you could take a look at it. I'm hoping you can see it all. I have been using some of it. And so we're using this one today. Isn't that pretty? So let me put this back and we can get started. I have all of my pieces cut out so we can move this along pretty quickly. I did the squares with the layering square, so the white is Whisper White in the largest square, and then I have behind it the largest scallop square in Real Red. So I did that cutting already. Let me get my little kit out here and we can get started. The first thing I'm going to do is my stamping, and I will ink up that beautiful sentiment in Real Red ink. I always get confused. I have some old ink pads and some new ink pads, and they open up a little bit differently. So this is the old one, and I'm getting used to the new one, so it's a little tricky. I'm going to just really ink that up good. And it just barely fits on this square. So you've got to kind of be careful. And if it goes off a little bit, I'm not too concerned. I am going to do it up a little bit higher. And pull that off. That looks nice. And while I have the red out, I'm going to do the inside. And I have wishing you peace and love all year long. And I'm going to just do that up kind of toward the top and in the center. And then I used some of these swirly things, and I put that on each side just to give it a little bit something. So I'm going to try to match it up a little bit. That looks okay. We'll put that aside. And then on this I did couple of the holly leaves, and then I added some berries. So let's do that in the shaded spruce. And again, on the back of the Designer Series paper, it does tell you the colors that are in this. So that's shaded spruce, and that's probably old olive and Real Red. So it helps you pick the right colors. So this has two stamps, and one goes one way and one goes the other, which makes it nice. So you don't have to try to figure that out. So I have that one going down, and then this one I'm just going to try to match up the stem and go that way. And I'm going to put some berries there, so don't worry about that little gap there. And let's see, we can just put this aside. So where are my berries? So there's these great red rhinestones, and I put 3 of them on with my paper piercing tool. So I just try to get one. I'll put one in the center And then I'll put 2 more. If you don't have these, you can, and you have the blends, which are the alcohol markers, you can use clear rhinestones and color them with red, or if you were using cherry cobbler ink, you could do it with cherry cobbler. It's real nice. You could do pearls, rhinestones. I love the blends. So now we're going to adhere this to this. It's just barely giving it a border, but I like that it kind of pops off a little bit. So we will just adhere this. Just be careful because the berries are on it. I'm just going to try a little piece on the side here. Try to get this very close in here, and it should line up. There you go. Now before I put this piece down, I'm going to wrap it with some ribbon. So let me just put some adhesive along the side, and here's my ribbon. So this is really cool. It's Real Red, I don't think that's the name of it, mixed satin. So it's Real Red mixed satin. So it's got kind of like a ribbed and then a smooth side. So I thought that was pretty. So we're just going to wrap this around, and we'll just fold it, and it will get caught on the adhesive that I put in the back on both sides, and then I'll cut it. I try to keep ribbon scissors that I don't use for anything but ribbon. This makes the cuts nicer, and I am going to go over the ribbon just to make sure that it adheres down good. And then we'll put this on the card base. This is a Real Red card base. So the Real Red card base is my standard A2 card. So it's 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock, and you cut it in half at 5.5, and then you score it at 4 1/4, and that gives you this size. And then this is 4 by 5 1/4, so it's a nice layer. And we're going to put this on with some dimensionals. And I have a lot of these mini dimensionals, and the edges are very big, so I'm going to just kind of cut these up. I like to use all of my dimensionals. So let's see. We'll just put one. Oh, that didn't even come off. There we go. So I'll put one up here, one in each corner, and then I always like to put one in the middle. All right, so we'll just take the backing off of these. This is a very quick card, and you know, I think I'll tell you, designer series paper really just adds a lot to the cards, and then having this beautiful sentiment, you don't really need much more than that. And I think I'll put it up here, kind of up, not in the middle, but up a little bit. Now, I spent some time trying to tie a bow with this ribbon, and it's a very small bow, so I just decided I was going to run it through and just tie a knot. So I just tucked it under and tied a knot, and then I trimmed the edges. So it's kind of a cheater bow, but I won't tell if you don't tell. I think it looks good. It was just too much bow for the size of the ribbon and the area that I was putting it in. I think this would make a lovely bow, this ribbon, just not here. So there you go. You could probably add more of these rhinestones, the red rhinestones, if you wanted to. Let's put the inside in. That would be good. And then we're done with this card. Very easy, but I think beautiful. So this would be to me, a card that you could make a lot of, because you can really breeze right through it. And you can use different papers in that same pack for the background. There's a few that would match perfectly. You could change the red to green and you know, make it up a little bit different, but you could just really mass produce these. So anyway, thanks for stopping by. Again, check out my blog all week. I have the card from yesterday, and then tomorrow I'll be featuring this card. It's very sparkly, and it's with the Merry Christmas Thinlits. So very simple card as well. So come on back tomorrow to my blog, pspapercrafts.com, and you can see the instructions on that. Well, anyway, thanks for joining. You have a good day. Bye.